The cost of obtaining an answer has collapsed while the effort required to develop understanding has not. Artificial intelligence accelerates access to information, but it also raises questions about which parts of thinking remain necessary. This video explores a growing productivity paradox. Tools that make work easier may be reshaping how insight, judgment, and expertise are developed. For centuries, intellectual prowess was signaled by the ability to recall vast quantities of information and perform granular cognitive operations with speed and accuracy. However, as generative AI systems evolve to handle these primitives of intellectual work, the utility of the traditional grind is significantly diminished. Memorizing facts and doing generic practice questions for its own sake isn't worth much anymore because technology, including AI, can often do this for you. This is similar to how in the past fitness and strength were key, but with machines our physical abilities started to matter less. A person could still jog from one location to another, but now they could simply take a car to get there much faster. Offloading tasks to machines has its benefits. Offloaded tasks reduce the burden on the human. Modern LLMs, for example, provide pre-packaged insights that can bypass the user's mental engagement. In other words, if a person has a question, instead of thinking about an answer, they could simply get an answer from a chatbot. However, just like how obesity became a problem after we didn't need to run anywhere anymore and switched to stationary jobs, offloading mental tasks also has unintended side effects. The transition from collaborative tools to passive consumption mechanisms creates a cognitive ease paradox. As the perceived effort of a task decreases, so does the depth of cognitive engagement. This means that as technologies like LLMs make thinking easier, a side effect is humans losing their ability to think effectively. From a neurological perspective, this happens because of neuroplasticity. Neural pathways are reinforced by tasks they routinely perform. If AI consistently handles low-level functions such as decomposition and recall, the brain may experience a use-it-or-lose-it effect. This creates a sort of catch-22. On the one hand, memorization or routine practicing can be seen as a waste because AI can do such tasks, and on the other hand, outsourcing thinking can lead to cognitive decline. There is, however, a third choice: continue to exercise the brain strategically, such as on tasks that support human-AI collaboration, tasks that ensure independence, or tasks that AI lacks proficiency in. While AI may reduce the mental effort required for handling routine processing, if used correctly, it can have a minimal impact on the inherent difficulty of the task itself and thus on the amount of exercise the brain gets. Tasks to focus on may include interpersonal connections, complex ethical judgments, and unstructured problem solving. These are tasks with higher abstraction layers that easily challenge the mind enough to keep it sharp, while also providing value in the modern context of AI. However, consider even a simple question: why is a tree not growing? In the past, answering it required investigation, learning about soil quality, photosynthesis, root systems, and sometimes less obvious factors, like underground fungal webs that connect plants. This effortful process naturally sparked curiosity and led to tangible learning, gradually building a robust mental model of how plants grow. Today, an LLM can instantly list likely causes based on described symptoms. The answer is faster and often sufficient, yet this efficiency has a hidden cost. The quick response short-circuits the exploratory process that turns information into understanding. It delivers the what without the why, resolving the question before curiosity can deepen. Instead of asking what else influences growth or how roots actually function, the learning moment quietly ends. For trivial problems, this trade-off may be acceptable. But when the goal is to understand complex systems, solve novel problems, or develop genuine expertise, habitual reliance on shallow answers can erode the capacity for deep inquiry and principled thinking. The risk is not that AI provides answers, but that their ease makes sustained investigation feel unnecessary, when that is often the very process that cultivates insight, adaptability, and mastery. Consider thinking first and then asking targeted questions, not just to get the best answers, but to also keep your brain fit. Perhaps one day we will view people who use AI for everything in a similar way to how we view people who don't exercise. They might get by, but it's not ideal, and over time the negative effects compound. To apply this insight in practice, focus should shift from quick answers to developing deeper understanding. Beyond doing repetitive work, AI is most effective when used for identifying new ideas or missing pieces, not as a substitute for thinking. The discomfort and struggle that generally follows, even with the help of AI, is not a sign of failure. It is often where the most meaningful learning and outcomes emerge. This could mark a departure from traditional learning paths. In the past, ambitious projects were often postponed while people accumulated theory, uncertain of where to begin or how to proceed when stuck. AI could change this dynamic. It allows individuals to start immediately, using AI for guidance rather than complete solutions, seeking recommendations, resources, or perspectives that help resolve specific obstacles as they arise. Instead of front-loading learning and delaying application, this inverted approach prioritizes building first and learning on the job, fostering deeper understanding and internalizing core principles in a way that passive study rarely achieves. In a world where answers of varying quality arrive almost instantly and tasks can be delegated to algorithms, the true challenge becomes maintaining the discipline to think deeply when shallow solutions are readily available. The solution is not to reject helpful tools, but to use them wisely, recognizing that some struggles are worth preserving because they build the very capacity that makes individuals valuable and fulfilled.